different levels, I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played.
It's all the way you're horny. You know you can't just call me. Can beat it down to the morning and then have it snoring. Put it like Lauren, thick by the bone and ass all swollen. Fuck it, I'ma go in. I'm rolling the dice, I got 9 more. You telling me things I got time for. I'm looking for shit I got time for. All my shit feel like I'm time for. Shit feel like I'm time for it. And now you can't just call me. I know you're feeling lonely. Moaning, got you yelling more, please. More than I'ma give you what you need. Snoring, wake up, fuck it, back to sleep. I beat that shit up all day. You say you ain't had none. I feel like I'm back on stage. How you give me attention? You see how you call me back, so I pick up to listen. Little baby, no strings attached. You don't need no permission. I'm rolling the dice, I got 9 more. You telling me things I got time for. I'm looking for shit I got time for. All my shit feel like I'm time for. Put it on me. Put it on me. All my shit feel like I'm time for. Put it on me.
She wanna come a little fast like she see a nigga got his bag right. I give a good dick, give her act right. Vino make her forget about her past life. Blessed her in the tub, I got her baptized. Got her at LLC, I see she on the business. She let my baby see and she be selfish with it. She know it's her job to please and she be committed. Girl, I'm looking cause you I got time for. Girl, you put me in my zone. Girl, you be my home. I don't never want you alone. I'ma put you in V-long. Give you long and deep strokes. Tell me what you really need, baby. You know we can smoke on some weed, baby. Still, it's the feeling you know when it's real. Still, in the streets and you know that they kill. For real. That pain is something we all feel.
All my shit feel like I'm time for.
It's the feeling you know when it's real.
I'm rolling the dice, I got 9 more. You telling me things I got time for. I'm looking for shit I got time for. All my shit feel like I'm time for. Put it on me. Put it on me. All my shit feel like I'm time for. Put it on me. I'm rolling the dice, I got 9 more. You telling me things I got time for. I'm looking for shit I got time for. All my shit feel like I'm time for. Put it on me. Put it on me. All my shit feel like I'm time for. Put it on me.
Welcome to It's Culture Podcast. My name is Mark Stevenson, and we are live tonight. Got some topics to talk about. Got some topics. And like we do on every Sunday night on a live show, we're going to get to the trending topics. If this is your first time watching the It's Culture Podcast, I talk about what's trending. Anything that's getting social media awry, I talk about it, whether it's news, politics, trending topics, social media outcries, whatever you can think of, we cover it on this show. Excuse me, sorry about that. But before we get started tonight, do me a favor, hit the like button, share button, subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all the updates. And if you are on YouTube, hey, participate in that live chat tonight. And let's get the conversation going. A lot to talk about. We're going to start off. They got some illegals. They got caught up in a nightclub raid with ICE. And our Army Staff Sgt was the ringleader. So we're going to talk about that. And then this Shiloh Hendrix GiveSendGo fundraiser that these people online have decided they were going to raise over $600,000 for her after she yelled out the N-word in a little park. And people online want to say that it's in retaliation for black people coming together to raise money for Karmelo Anthony. I can't even see why you all would try to, like make both of them kind of like in a parallel, because it don't make any sense to me. And then last but not least, the turkey leg hunt owner, Lynn Price, man, he was into some stuff down there in Houston, and he's got himself federally indicted. We're gonna talk about that tonight. Yeah, so let's get into it. So as I was saying, just this past weekend, last weekend actually, a nightclub got raided in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's a lot of Army up there. You got Fort Carson there is in Colorado Springs. You got the Air Force Academy up there. A lot of military in that area. And they just had a raid that involved over 100 people getting illegals getting arrested, along with dozens of military personnel. They found drugs, they found guns, and there was an Army Staff Sgt that was the ringleader, well, one of the ringleaders, and he has found himself indicted on a lot of charges. So, not going to bore you with me talking about it. Let's go to the news and let's hear about it.
More than 300 law enforcement officers assisted in the operation led by the DEA Rocky Mountains Field Division.
We seized quite a number of guns and took a number of people into custody. As a result of this operation is that Colorado Springs is waking up to a safer community today.
DEA Rocky Mountain Field Division Special Agent in Charge Jonathan Pullen says significant drug trafficking, prostitution, and crimes of violence were happening inside the nightclub located near Airport Road and South Academy Boulevard.
Now, I got to let y'all know, they have been investigating this nightclub for a while. So this ain't like they just stumbled across this. This has been an ongoing investigation, so they knew all this stuff was going on. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Officials made entry just before 4 this morning. ICE, one of the agencies a part of that operation, taking dozens of people into custody.
So as you may suspect, when the cops showed up at the door, most of the drugs hit the floor. And we did find cocaine. It looks like some pink cocaine or the Tusi. We had over 100 illegal aliens inside as well. And those over 100 illegal aliens were taken into custody by ICE.
Cocaine, pink cocaine. That's that stuff that Diddy got caught with. It's like ketamine and some other stuff that's like MDMA, supposed to keep you up. Mind you now, this is at 4 o'clock in the morning. So they were partying till the sun came up.
Pullen says more than a dozen active service members were in the club during the operation, and they were involved in some of the crimes, either as patrons or working as armed security.
We're going to talk about this a little later on.
Yeah, it's obviously concerning to have active duty military involved. We're working with our partners at Army CID on that piece. Obviously, where we are here in the Springs, there's a lot of military bases here, so it's not necessarily surprising, but we're going to take that very seriously.
Federal officials say the nightclub was frequented by Trinidad Aragua, MS-13, and Hell's Angels, but they could not confirm if any members were involved in the arrest.
The message is we're not going to stand for this criminality in our city.
All right. So he just said they're not going to stand for the criminality in the city. MS-13 frequent this nightclub. Now, we know that was part of the campaign strategy back when Trump was running against Kamala Harris. Also, Kamala Harris. And before with Joe Biden. We had heard about all this gang activity out in Colorado, and the Democrats wanted to act like none of this stuff was going on. Like these people are lying. that MS-13 wasn't taking over these cities and apartment complexes. They act like none of this stuff was going on. They said it was fake news. And here we are right now in Colorado, MS-13 related gang activity.
Arona Rodriguez appeared attentive as a judge addressed him in the courthouse behind me and read him his rights. The staff sergeant is facing serious allegations that came out in a complaint released on Thursday morning. One of those allegations, selling drugs to an undercover DEA agent.
So this is the Army sergeant, staff sergeant, supposed to be serving and protecting the country. You out here want to be a dope dealer.
This is the beginning of an investigation, not the end of it.
Answers about why more than 300 law enforcement officers targeted the party are coming out in federal court. This complaint details the nearly 7-month-long investigation into Staff Sergeant Juan Gabriel Arona Rodriguez, arrested by the FBI on Wednesday. It details an operation just last week, claiming he sold 0.5 ounces of cocaine in front of an undercover DEA agent at the staff sergeant's house.
Staff sergeant, this sold half an ounce, half an ounce of coke right in front of a DEA agent. Look at the pictures, y'all. Just look at the pictures. Glocks, that's a Glock right there. Another gun right there, another gun. They were selling these guns illegally, allegedly. All this was going on. This staff sergeant, Staff Sergeant Juan Arona Rodriguez.
While Arona Rodriguez is not facing any weapons-related charges, it also claims he tried illegally selling guns to undocumented immigrants.
Selling guns illegally to illegal aliens. Army Staff Sergeant.
And back to that illegal nightclub. According to investigators, Arona Rodriguez helped lead Immortal Security LLC, the company which was running security for the underground party. It's a job, court records reveal, his commanding officer told him is off limits in March.
Commanding officer had already told him it was off limits, but he ain't follow no orders, huh?
Text messages included in the document show the staff sergeant texting with alleged drug buyers and a drug supplier. In one thread, he mentions the club by name. The document says the staff sergeant was one of approximately 17 active duty U.S. Army service members at the nightclub during the raid, on par with what the special agent in charge said just hours after.
Obviously, where we are here in the Springs, there's a lot of military bases here, so it's not necessarily surprising, but we're going to take that very seriously.
Business records show the address under Arona Rodriguez's name linked to the security company is the same address registered to the event company leasing the space where the nightclub was operating. These women in court told reporters they are relatives of Arona Rodriguez, but refused to comment. Arona Rodriguez will remain in custody. His next hearing is scheduled for Tuesday morning, right back here at the federal courthouse.
Okay. Before I get it started in this one, an illegal party going on. Commanding officer had already told this staff sergeant, you're not allowed to be there. He disobeyed that order. They raid, FBI raids it. They looking for him. He's all in the indictment. You done sold dope to the DEA while on active duty, man. And y'all be thinking sometimes that every service member is like some outstanding citizen and that everybody is following the rule of law. You all would be surprised just how much stuff active duty service members are involved in criminally throughout the country. I've seen cases when I served. This stuff happens all the time. Guys are selling drugs, gang members, selling weapons, stealing stuff, killing people, sexual assaults, you name it. So it doesn't surprise me that we have a service member here not doing what he's supposed to do, not following the orders that the commanding officer gave, still operating this business, still selling drugs. No surprise. No surprise at all. Now, I'm just wondering for him, because it's a federal case, if they're going to turn it over to the military and send him to level work for the rest of his life. That's what I'm waiting to see. Because that's essentially about where he's about to go. You just threw away your entire career trying to be whatever. Perhaps he was part of the cartel. Who knows? They said MS-13 and the Hells Angels frequent this club. So they was running guns and drugs all through it. And then 4 o'clock in the morning, you got service members still out partying. 17 of them. They all get detained, get arrested. Because they participating right along with this. That could be a whole little platoon, whole little unit. Everybody involved. I just, I don't even know what to say about this. It seems like Trump's DOJ is cracking down. That's all I can say. And they are raiding parties. They are arresting judges. They're not playing. They are not playing with these border jumpers. They are not playing. And we're seeing, as these cases happen, you're seeing American citizens are somehow, some way caught up in this. So we can chuck it up to, there's a lot of Americans that are helping out in the trafficking of illegal migrants in this country. We got a lot of people amongst us that are doing some illegal stuff that are helping and aiding and assisting. So I don't even know how you can combat that besides having more ICE agents, having more raids, having more investigations into things like this. But you see the drugs, the illegal guns, and those weapons, at least 2 of them look military issue. At least they were law enforcement issues, especially that Gen 43. So that 43X that I saw. So he was selling guns. Where he was getting them from. But he's selling them to legal migrants. So y'all be safe out there in Colorado. Your politicians been lying to you. They've been lying to you. They told y'all that this gang activity was made up, that Trump was just trying to scare people, and this is part of his fear mongering. That's what Democrats said. They had a whole big spiel about this during the debate time. Said he was out here fear mongering and race baiting. It was racist. It was targeting people. It was hurting communities. Now we see that this stuff is true. These gang members are in the country. So moving on. You know, ever since it seems like there's a heightened sense of like race stuff going on right now. The attack on DE&I sparked a lot of stuff. Then you have all these, like I love to say, they like to act like they're not racist, but they like virtual signal. You know, they say things that you know that has racial undertones, and then you start hearing people say, "Oh, you know, there's an attack on white men and cancel culture and all this stuff." You got all these things, right? You got everybody's a victim. And then you have a situation where you have Karmelo Anthony and in the stabbing, Austin Metcalf. And even when the situation wasn't, in my opinion, racially motivated at all, you had people online who made it about race. Same ones who always virtual signal, who continue to harass this family. And people decided to start donating money to this make sure that this young man got proper legal representation. Because remember, at the beginning, his bond was $1 million, which was a lot higher than some people in Texas who killed multiple people got. So they knew that they had to get that change. But so they got it lowered down, and people had to GiveSendGo so he can get proper legal representation. They didn't want a court-appointed attorney. They wanted proper legal representation, so they crowdfunded for it. Now we had this situation with Shiloh Hendrix because people were pissed off that black people were donating for Karmelo Anthony. They were pissed off. I can't believe that they doing this. They, read some of the comments and what they're saying. So, all this hateful stuff. The blacks hate white people. The blacks. I heard it. I saw it. Seen it all online. It was just absolute, just nonsense. Constant nonsense. And it seems like some people in this country are just so heightened, and they're so ready to just have a race war. That they keep saying shit, and they saying it on, and they're not gonna say this stuff in person, but they going out here and they are typing on keyboards, and then you got bots that are elevating this stuff, and it's just a whirlwind of just hatred for no apparent reason. But then people want to throw up the statistics on violence and all this other nonsense, ancillary bullshit that they didn't read online, or some meme that they didn't share that has no factual data in it whatsoever, just to kind of tip the iceberg, because that's what they do. You see it with the athletes. They always targeted Angel Reese for no reason whatsoever. They do these things. They try to make Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark a thing. So now you have Shiloh Hendrix. Another episode, another heightened sense. Now, this woman, she went out and was in a park. And it is alleged that she would use the N-word and called what appears to be a young black kid, if they're 5 years old, maybe it was autistic, the N-word in the park, and then walked off. So she gets filmed, a guy films her, and then she yells it back out again. So we're going to listen to this, because I know y'all done seen it, because it's been all over social media.
I'm a nigger, the child? Did you call the child the nigger word? It is my own business. You call him a nigger?
Look at this.
Okay, why don't you have the boss say it right now again?
Fuck you, nigger.
Okay.
Nigger.
All right, that's what you say.
I mean, what? Gets filmed and then turns around and says that she has been targeted, absolutely targeted, and goes out and has a GiveSendGo fundraiser, has a fundraiser, and puts it on GiveSendGo, and all these assholes decided that they were going to go and donate to it. Let's take a look. It started out with I think $10,000 was the first goal. Then she hit that one. Then it raised up to $25,000. It hit that one. Then it went to $50,000, $100,000. Now it's up to $1 million. And you see $642,000 has been raised for this woman. $642,000. This is as of right now, as I'm recording this right now at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Sunday, May the 4th, she has $642,000 that she has raised because she says, help protect her family. Let's read what she says. She says, hello, my name is Shiloh, and I have been put in a very dire situation. I have recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. Another man who we recently found out has a history with law enforcement, proceeded to record me and follow me to my car. He then posted these videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil. My SSN has been leaked. My address and phone number has been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not be going back to school, even where I exercise has been exposed. I'm asking for help to assist in protecting my family. I fear that we must relocate. I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. We have been threatened to the extreme by people online. Anything will help. We cannot and will not live in fear. Thank you. Let's go back to the picture again. To 24,000 people have given to this bullshit. 24,000 people have given their money to helping this woman. This is where we're at. And I know folks online all throughout the metaverse have tried to compare this to getting representation so a guy can have legal representation in court for a charge that he still has to stand trial for is somehow, some way, the same as this woman calling a kid the N-word and then fundraising because she got called out for her BS, and then she doubled down and did it again on video, and now she's saying that she's a target and a threat. And 24,000 people decided that they were going to help this woman out. This is the country we live in. When people say America's not a racist country, nah, y'all can keep saying that, but we got a lot of racists in it because there's a lot of people. I didn't even read the comments because I don't even want to put that crap on my. I don't even want to give the time of day to that trash on my channel. But y'all should read some of the comments. You know, white guilt is over. It's as if like they're being attacked or something. I don't get this. I don't. But somehow, some way, this situation has manifested itself in our country that now there's a perpetual. It's steaming, and I can see it brewing. I told some of my friends the other day. I said it seemed like there's some people that want to have a race war for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what they think that is going to accomplish. Our economy is in a complete tank. There's a lot of other stuff that our attention should be focused on. But this is the low vibration shit. This is that low hanging fruit stuff that keeps people in a perpetual cycle of just spinning around in circles while the government continues to do the nonsense that they do. So it's easy to keep us all riled up in little silos and beating around and the house is on fire and all this crap. This controlled chaos. That's all it is. It's controlled chaos, and it keeps getting amplified over and over and over and over again. And that's all they want to see. Want to keep showing this stuff. Because it keeps us completely divided, and so it keeps us divided. So when the government continues to tax the hell out of you, and you're wondering where all your money going, and prices of everything in the country is exponentially higher, and you're not paying attention to that because you're so damn concerned about, wanting to say the N-word, or mad about some kid who none of us actually knows in a situation that is egregious and is right, and that still has to have a court date. Some of y'all act like Karmelo Anthony has already been found not guilty. They just had a case in Texas about 50 miles away from where Karmelo is from, where pretty much the same situation, stabbing inside of a high school in the bathroom. And the kid wasn't found guilty of murder, but they found him guilty of criminal negligent homicide. So, you know what I'm saying? It is perpetual that we continue to see this same cycle of stuff going on and on and on again. And this should be a valuable lesson, because anytime race is involved, don't matter what it is, it seems like some people just gonna jump on the bandwagon and elevate it. Nonsense. She's mad because she got called out for a nonsense. Now she's threatened. And people want to jump on board and support this woman and help her relocate. This woman about to be a millionaire. She about to be a millionaire because of a fundraiser. And allegedly, she used to be on drugs, used to sell a body, now all of a sudden she about to be a millionaire because idiots decided to donate to her on idiotic stuff. And y'all think that this is somehow, some way, this is the same as trying to make sure that the young man gets representation in court. Ain't nobody said that he innocent. That's why he got to have a day in court. But the family just wanted to make sure that they could have a legal team that was going to actually go in there and do what they're supposed to do. Not have a public defender who got a caseload stacked. No, they wanted to make sure they had the proper legal representation. And there's already a precedent that has been set. So apply the law equally. That's all I'm saying. Not saying the kid is innocent. I never said that. I just said let him have his day in court, and when it goes to the court, then we're gonna see what happens. When the evidence comes out, when they try the court, then we can have a discussion, because we're gonna talk about that whole case when it finally goes to trial, and then we'll see what happens. But it's some sick people out here, and white people, for some reason, I don't understand how y'all could be online supporting this. It's been shared 4,500 times, y'all. Shared 400, and then she has gotten 6,600 prayers. Who the hell they praying to? This sickness. Don't pray for me. Whoever y'all praying for, don't pray for me. Because that's not the God I know. So let's move it on to my last topic, y'all. The turkey leg hunt. I never got a chance to go to the turkey leg hunt down in Houston, and I wanted to go so bad because I saw everybody. It was always people talking about it online, or it seemed like it was a nice little vibe. And then all of a sudden, like pretty much every black business is always some BS that happens with them. And there was, marital issues that ultimately led to the restaurant closing. And then there was talks about an oyster bar being open, or whatever the case is. So, but there was also people saying that Lynn Price, who was the owner of it, was involved in a lot of stuff that was going on in Houston, to the point where he wanted to keep his name clean, so he just paid people to do the dirt for him. Well, he then found himself federally indicted on alleged arson charges. Well, that he is alleged that he paid some people to burn down a nightclub that was down the street from his business. Now, he just got indicted. And he was going to court to see if they were going to remand him in custody or allow him to bond out. Now, this is a federal case. FBI was investigating him for a while. The nightclub blew up in like 2020, so this has been going on for a while, and they didn't know who actually had orchestrated it. But you know how the streets are. People start talking, and eventually somebody gonna say one thing to somebody, and people get nervous, and next thing you know, They put 2 and 2 together. The much evidence, cell phone records, all these things start happening, and then they got a case. So let's take a listen to what they said about this turkey leg hut.
Well, the indictment lists the accusations against 2 different individuals. It lists the who, what, when, where, and it was read during court today. Lindell Price was one of 2 men standing before a federal judge today when that was read, and he was very expressive as those accusations against him were read. Facial expressions is what I mean. I can't guess what he was thinking, but you could tell he had a lot on his mind as that was read. What he's accused of was a big story back in June of 2020. It rocked the Alameda corridor at the time. It was early, 4 in the morning, and literally rocked the Alameda corridor. Windows were blown out of homes in the Museum Park area because of this fire. Right after, police released very clear surveillance video from the front porch.
Look at this. These dudes are literally out there with gas cans, just pointed everywhere. You see all that wood. You knew something was getting ready. They were getting ready to torch this building, and they say it blew windows out. So you knew it had to be a lot of gas and everything else, like to blow up like that. Like they said, what happened with this building at 5150? The way that building looked. Man, they detonated this thing like they threw some C4 on it or something. But you can see them with the gas cans, though.
Of the bar 5015, it showed the people involved's faces well, but no one was ever arrested. The indictment filed today lists 2 individuals, including Price, and accused Price of arranging this fire at bar 5015 just down the street from the Turkey Leg Hut, the restaurant that he co-owned with his wife at the time. It says Price paid other individuals to set that fire and that they called him after it was done. The indictment also accuses Price of coordinating a fire to a 1975 Chevy Nova 2 months prior to the bar,
So they said that he was out here paying people to set cars on fire. This dude was absolutely out of control.
Fire at bar 5015. And Price and that other individual, the other individual is one of the people who prosecutors allege actually set the fire. But those 2 appeared before a judge today, like I said. The other man was released on bond and should be walking out of here at any point. Price was held without bond. Prosecutors say they consider him to possibly be a danger to the community. His bond will be revisited on Thursday at 10 a.m. to determine if he'll be released ahead of trial in this case.
Okay, so this dude, they found himself in a lot of stuff. The fires, setting of cars on fire. Now, they had the other guy, he's bonded out. They said he set the fire. So we already know somebody's talking. They probably done already told. They got text messages, conversations. Facial recognition. Maybe they were able to, as technology gets better, that facial recognition gets a whole lot easier. Their faces weren't all the way covered, So they doused it. They looked at it. They probably went through, looked at, the footage from like car footage, piecing together camera footage from the highways, piecing it all together so they can get a plan on who actually did this. I watch a lot of Chicago PD. Don't know if that stuff is real or not, but I love the show. So, but needless to say, had to throw that in there. Needless to say though, they piece all this stuff together. They get all this evidence, and then they look into it. Now this is 5 years ago. It took them that long to crack this case. This looks bad because if you were out here paying for people to detonate buildings and stuff, he could be looking at terrorism charges. Seriously, they could. The Fed could really, really stick it to him if they really want to. Now, I don't know what his actual charges are in this case. I'm gonna get the charging documents so I can actually read it and understand what he's charged with. But based on this is you paid people to set ablaze, arson. That's like terrorist stuff. There's also allegations that there was drugs being sold out of the turkey leg hut. That there was, those things are going on in there as well. Like, why businesses just can't be legit businesses, man? We always talk about supporting black businesses, support black businesses, support black businesses. A couple of weeks ago, Wallow from the $1 million worth of game, some people took issue with what he said about black businesses. But the fact remains, just because it's black doesn't mean that you just automatically just jump on it and support it. It's got to be legit, man. Like, why is it always got to be some criminal element that's involved with a business that we own? Why just can't it just be legitimate business? It's always got to be something else. It can never be like just a pillar in the community. And the turkey leg hut was quite popular. Now, I know people took issue with sometimes the wait was long, and then I know he had got into it with some women because they were twerking in there at one point or something like that. So I know they had some issues. And then, like I said, the marital stuff came along with him and his ex-wife. But all this other stuff, the burning down nightclubs, setting cars on fire, drug selling, like, was that how you actually got the business in the first place? Couldn't get it any other way. It had to be some criminal element. I just don't get that. I don't get it at all. And we're going to be following this trial as well as it moves throughout the system. Pretty sure he's probably going to plea out in this one. I mean, if they have all this evidence and they actually, I would assume that one of the other people that have been indicted in this offense has probably turned state witness and became a federal cooperative. They cooperating with the Fed, and they probably gonna point everything. They probably got the financial transactions. It's gonna be some charges, probably some wire fraud, mail fraud charges in there because it's paying money for criminal activity. They start stacking them charges up. They tell you you're looking at life just for the fires alone, probably about 30 years. They'll start talking. So we'll keep up with that one. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. We go live again Thursday night. You all can tune in 8 p.m. Throughout the week. If anything comes up, y'all know I drop videos all throughout the week, so y'all pay attention to those videos. But help me out. The song that y'all heard at the beginning of the show, once again, that was an artist named Q McKinney. That song was called On Me. It was with another dude named Vino Savan. I know both of them. Both of them are from Columbus, Ohio. They both live in Atlanta, Georgia now. So go stream that one. It's on all DSPs. It's also on YouTube. So y'all can go check it out on Apple Music and Spotify. Add that to your playlist if you like that song. I'll keep bumping this joint. I'll keep playing some of his music on the channel. And if you all are artists and you want me to play your music, just hit me on the email address that's in the description of the video. You can just send me an email with the song. I'll take a listen. If I like it, I'll play it. Get you some free promo. All right, it don't cost you nothing. So until next time, Culture Nation, let's keep it culture, and I'll see you. Peace.